Hi everyone, this is Manuel Castellanos, and I'm studying communications at Lewis University as part of my bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. I'm passionate about cybersecurity as it aligns with protecting the future of our nation, but I'm also extremely passionate about communication. For a little bit of context, I've had the opportunity to grow up both in Guatemala and I moved to the United States when I was about 19. So I grew up speaking Spanish, and now I'm able to realize that communication skills are valuable no matter where you're at in the world and no matter what language you're speaking. More recently, as part of my cybersecurity and my hobbies, I've gotten very interested in large language models and programming, and almost in the same way that we communicate with other humans, being able to communicate through technology and with technology is becoming increasingly important. Some other hobbies involve being able to do some surfing and doing some wakeboarding in Guatemala. And those were all great and fun, but recently I was faced with a challenge. I moved to New Mexico, and I live now in Albuquerque. So Albuquerque, New Mexico was a new place, completely different. There is no water, there is no surfing or wakeboarding. I decided that I would take a look at what would be the most asymmetric hobby to have. So I wanted the least amount of investment for the greatest return. And I discovered that New Mexico has some of the darkest skies in the United States. So some of my hobbies now involve being able to pull out some binoculars on a starry night and being able to do some amateur astronomy. I also really enjoy playing golf, and it seems like there's a golf course in every other major city and town in New Mexico. One of my favorite places in New Mexico is White Sands. It's a national park, and a lot of my hobbies involve hiking and spending time outdoors, but just sitting down and enjoying the sunset has become increasingly one of my favorite things to do. And because of that, I've introduced my wife, Maria Alejandra, call her Allie, to it as well. Allie's an architect, and her and I tend to spend every single day together. And in our spare time, we like to do a lot of reading. And the biggest project that we've taken on now is we've gotten an air fryer, and we've gotten into a little bit of cooking, air frying. Allie, she is Guatemalan, and she's recently moved to the United States. So her and I are really enjoying being able to adjust and getting a chance to try different foods and different ways of cooking and just all the novelties that come with being married. We've been married now for 14 months. Some of the other hobbies that I've acquired over the years involve programming and building computers. So that's something that I've done on the side, and it's always very interesting and fascinating to me how much or how little you can achieve whenever you set your mind to it. And as the years go on, building computers and being able to do a little bit of programming has really opened my perspective to what's possible. I really enjoy automating small tasks and making other people's lives a little more efficient, whether it's saving some time here and there. And so that brings me to my next point. Throughout the past 5 years, I realized increasingly that knowing myself is extremely important. And throughout the years, I've realized that I tend to overanalyze things, and this all stems from the fear of missing out and not realizing my potential. So as we grow up, I've heard increasingly the pattern of people talking about, hey, you really have to go out there and try to achieve your goals. You have to go out there and you can't limit yourself, and there's a lot of different messages and a lot of different versions of it, but they all resonate with, hey, this is your only life and you have to live fully. So if you're someone who's heard that before and that resonates with you, think about the last time that someone said, hey, the only day you have is tomorrow. And as part of being active in the Air Force, I had the privilege of being able to work with a lot of different people and different cultures. And I've noticed that this pattern emerges especially in the earlier stages of our careers, of our lives, where we go out there and we want to seize the day, right? And this was me for sure, and it still is me. But increasingly, I've realized that a lot of times by fearing my unrealized potential, I've set myself in a way that I could potentially fail, right? And I could live in the possibilities, overanalyze, over-optimize, and never fully commit. The reason sometimes I haven't fully committed to my goals, especially going back to college, for example, and attending university, is because of the fear of turning into someone. Really, if you turn into someone, there is no going back, and it's irreversible. And so you can miss out on all the other opportunities. Now, my quote to everyone who's ever felt that way is this following one. I grew up playing piano, and I really enjoy music. So if you're a musician, this might resonate with you. The quote says like this, it goes like this. A note doesn't become music unless all the other infinite possibilities of notes are discarded. And if I were to ask every one of you right now, hey, who has a to-do list this week? I'm sure everyone would raise their hand, right? There's a lot of stuff to do. We keep busy all the time. And I want you to think about some of the things that are on your to-do list today. However, if I were to pause and invert the question and say, hey, who has a not to-do list? That wouldn't be as obvious. I know it took me a minute to think, okay, well, what is on my not to-do list this week? And my not to-do list would involve things like not scrolling my phone when someone's talking to me or looking me in the eye. Something that's easy to do, but sometimes it still happens. My to-do list would be long. So if you are someone that hasn't ever thought of a not to-do list this week, I would like for you to comment in the section below and let me know what is on your not to-do list. And that will inspire me and give me some ideas for what to put on my not to-do list. So many times we focus ourselves with the increasing needs of having clear goals and not limiting ourselves and allowing ourselves to reach our full potential. And in the process, we can get lost in analysis paralysis, and not having a to-do list will really set you up this week for success. And I'm hoping to do the same. So please comment below and remember the quote, a note doesn't become music unless infinite other notes are discarded first. So get your not to-do list dialed in, and that will get you closer to figuring out really what is it that you're trying to achieve this week.